All right, everyone, welcome back into another fantasy golf video. Going to be breaking down which picks are going to be the best picks here for the Players Championship in your office pool picks, sometimes family pool picks. Last year we did this to a lot of success, got a lot of fun comments. People saying that they won their office pools. Some of the favorite comments though were like wives saying they're able to beat their husbands because of the videos from last year. So we're going to be covering that here, going through each tier and really explaining why the picks are going to be the top picks. And so, yes, we're just going to go through tier by tier, guys. So starting here with tier 1. So we got Scotty Scheffler, Rory, Xander, Collin Morikawa, Ludwig, JT, Hideki, Tommy Fleetwood, Patrick Cantlay, and Shane Lowry. So the interesting thing about this year when we're looking at tier 1, guys, is it's a lot different than last year. Last year, it was basically we're loading up on Scotty. If we're not loading up on Scotty, what are the 1 or 2 potential pivots that we could be on? Typically speaking, that was Xander Schauffele. This year, it's a little bit different. I'm going to show you guys why using my 9-to-5 data cheat sheet for the Players Championship. And so looking at it, guys, have all the players from that tier pulled up here. We are noticing that Scotty has not been as much of a lock and load this year as he has been in the past. So what we're looking at here is the recent form tab. Over his last 4 starts, 11th, 3rd, 25th, and 9th, which are not bad results. But this time last year, we were pretty much thinking that he was a lock to finish top 3 and was likely going to win, which he was able to do last year. Okay, he's the 2-time defending champ going for a 3-peat here. He is still the top choice in this tier. He's still the safest play and choice in this tier. Now, what are we going to do, though, if we are not ending up on Scotty? Like, if you want to pivot off of him, because everyone's going to be doing that. He's the top player in the world. He's kind of the correct option. You look at his betting odds to win, guys, he's 5-1. That means he's highly likely to win. But if you're not doing that, which I think is justifiable, there are plenty of other options. So first and foremost would be Rory. He's a little bit too hit or miss. I don't exactly want to trust that. I don't want to give that to you guys as a pick because he's just not someone we can truly trust. The player that actually has a lot of momentum here is going to be Collin Morikawa. And I know this might not, the graphics that I have might not make perfect sense to someone that maybe is new to, fantasy golf and whatnot. How I have it broken down is I have it broken down by course history, key stats, recent form, and specialist data. Specialist data is pulling in a bunch of unique characteristics like how a player does on the course based off of its location, based off of the green type, based off the amount of bunkers, based off the amount of water hazards in play, the course designer. So all that stuff's going into it. You guys most likely don't care about that. The point I'm trying to make here is that when we look at his recent form, I can scroll down to the bottom. He's finished 2nd in the tournament that happened last week. That was also in Florida. This event's in Florida as well. The Farmers Insurance Open, 17th, fine. 17th at the AT&T Pebble Beach Prom, and then a 2nd at the Century Tournament of Champions as well. So he's made 4 starts thus far in 2025, and 2 of them have been runner-up finishes. He doesn't have the best course history here, guys, so the course history is right here. 45th, 13th, miscut, and 41st, but still not bad. Again, if you are not choosing Scotty, I think you would want to go with Collin Morikawa. Now, a couple of options you could roll with as well that are a little bit more off the board. JT's a little bit hit or miss of an option. He's a previous winner at this event. He could win. I just don't want to get there. And then it's actually Tommy Fleetwood, Hideki, and Shane Lowry. I know I'm not giving too much of a firm answer here. It is Scotty Scheffler. That's the firm answer. But he will be the most popular. So if you're making multiple office pool pick selections, or brackets, if you will, you could go with one of these golfers. And I'm not saying there's a correct answer. I would actually say it's Hideki here. Hideki won the first tournament of the season in 2025, which was the Century Tournament of Champions. He's made 12 straight cuts on the PGA Tour, and he has had tremendous success at this event. A 6th and a 5th place finish over his last 2 starts here. He does have somewhat local ties at this event as well. Tommy Fleetwood is someone that does play well at this event. 3 straight made cuts for him. And Shane Lowry is also someone that plays extremely well at this event. But to me, guys, in order, what I think we would be doing here with this group is we would want to be going with Scotty Scheffler. That's the top pick. And then we could potentially get to Collin Morikawa. He'd be my next favorite option. And then from there, probably Shane Lowry. And then also I do like Hideki. Now we're going to get into tier 2, guys. Tier 2 is going to be much, much easier to really tell you guys who to be on. The next few tiers are actually going to be pretty easy to tell you guys who to be on. Much more straightforward with these selections. So what we're looking at here, guys, is probably Russell Henley. The only issue that we have with Russell Henley in tier 2 is the fact that he's coming off of a tournament win last week for the Arnold Palmer Invitational. If you guys watching the clips though, his game tournament winning putt, he like walked it in so nonchalantly. It was like a putt that you'd be seeing someone make at the end of a practice round or something. So I think he's like mentally good to go for this weekend. So if that's true, he should be a great option. Now, if we're not going with Russell Henley, the next option would actually be Seb Straka. So we'll take a peek at those golfers in this tier as well. So again, I went ahead and put all those players into the 9-to-5 cheat sheet, just selecting those golfers for you. So again, what we're looking at here is the course history, the key stats for that week, which key stats are actually going to be the most fruitful in terms of predictability for that week's tournament, recent form, and then just overall looking at the projection data. So specialist data, I already mentioned that, course history rank, stat rank, recent form rank, and then overall the 9-to-5 rank. Okay, so that's how we're able to compile the data and really tell you guys which golfers are going to be the best picks. But another simple and easy way is just sorting it by the salary. So this is from DraftKings. They do DFS contests, daily fantasy sports contests, and their salaries are basically their priority of which golfers are the best plays. You could also do that by the odds as well, the odds of a golfer to win. These are the average odds across all sports books. And so again, looking at it, guys, quite clearly Russell Henley is the best option, right? Based off of the price, based off the odds, based off of the 9-to-5 rank as well. So across the board, Russell Henley is just the correct pick here. The one concern is the simple fact that he's coming in off of a victory. Maybe he's not as mentally geared up to go. And he doesn't have the best course history, 2 missed cuts here over the last 4 years, but in his made cuts, they're top 20 finishes. Now, Wyndham Clark is a golfer that has been a little bit hit or miss. He was in contention to win for a decent amount of the tournament last week and then ended up finishing 22nd. Okay, but another player that I would actually rather get to would be Seb Straka, other than Russell Henley. Okay, Russell Henley is a clear-cut choice. He's probably going to be popular. I personally don't think you have to worry about that too much. People will probably make mistakes later on. But if you are thinking he's going to be extremely popular, maybe you want to gain a little bit of leverage against other people in your pool, Seb Straka would be the route to go. So let's go ahead and take a peek here at tier 2 once again. So yes, we are going to be looking at Russell Henley. He's the simple and easy click there. And then from there, maybe potentially getting into Seb Straka, but I don't think we need to. Just stick with Russell Henley. So now we're going to jump down into tier number 3, guys. Tier number 3, also going to be somewhat straightforward in terms of who we should be targeting. Now, Corey Connors is going to be a good option. He's kind of the top price player on this board. You also have Daniel Berger, who's also going to be a sneaky option. I think we can get there as well. Siwoo Kim is going to be a player that's certainly in play. Those are kind of the top 3 that we're looking at. We can just simple it down to those 3 golfers. So that's what I'm going to do from the 9-to-5 cheat sheet. Just show you guys those 3 golfers, and we can decide from there who we want to be on. And so kind of to me, the clear-cut option is actually Daniel Berger. Again, just using DraftKings salary as a starting point, they're really expecting him to have a good week. Now, is that the end-all be-all? No, but that's encouraging that the 9-to-5 data is also aligning with that assessment. And the reason why is because Daniel Berger's been playing some extremely good golf, guys. He's made 4 straight cuts, has a recent runner-up finish. He's finished 15th, 25th, and 12th over his last 3 starts. At this tournament as well, he's finished 13th and 9th. Now, he hasn't played this tournament over the last 2 years because he's been terrible, because he got banged up, and really hasn't been his old self up until this year. This year, he's looked phenomenal. And so I do think that this is warranted. Now, when we look at the betting odds here, what we're going to notice is Corey Connors is actually a little bit higher likelihood in terms of the betting odds. Okay, so that is worth calling out. He has been someone that's been more hit or miss. So I'm going to pull up his recent form for you guys. And what we're going to notice with his recent form with Corey Connors, a 3rd and a 5th thus far in 2025. Okay, so pretty crazy stuff there. He could do that. I just don't think we want to bank on it. His golf shot has been a little bit inconsistent. And I will say, Siwoo Kim does seem like a safe option as well. Course history is phenomenal. So he is a former tournament winner at this track. He's also finished 6th, 27th with Drew, and then a 9th place finish. Okay, so very good course history. 4 straight make cuts around the PGA Tour, with all of those finishes being top 25 or better. So they're all great options. I think Daniel Berger is going to be the top one that we want to roll with there. And so this is, to me, guys, again, this is where we're going to get kind of our bigger edge, because he's not the highest ranked golfer on the tier 3. People might not be getting to that. You know, a lot of casual people might not be getting to that. This is where you could and probably should get rewarded for watching this video. But after that, I do think Siwoo Kim's a good option. And then, you know, Corey Connors you can get to as well. But again, I think you're going to gain a decent amount of leverage on the rest of the people in your pool by simply going with a guy that's a little bit lower down on the list. So now we jump into tier 4, and really, again, we are going to have one kind of clear-cut option. You guys can probably already see that. That's going to be Aaron Rai, as one of the best made cut likelihood, 74% compared to the next best, which is 70% in this range. Look at the outright odds. He has the 15th best outright odds to win this week, and he's also ranking out extremely well in the 9-to-5 data as well. I do want to call just a couple of other plays if you guys are maybe worried that that could be potentially chalky just because he's the first option on the list as well. We'll do that, but he's kind of the clear-cut choice. And so it's interesting, though, about kind of this selection of going with Aaron Rye over Danny McCarthy, per se, is the price difference. Again, using DraftKings, not the end-all be-all, but it is worth calling out. But then when we look at the overall outright odds, Aaron Rye is much more likely to win. And that pretty much comes down to, I think, the fact that Denny McCarthy, typically a safer golfer, I would say. So I would actually say that the made cut percentage for Aaron Rye and Denny McCarthy should be a little bit closer. But again, Aaron Rye does have the highest likelihood to do that. I think DraftKings, again, using their salary, they're just banking that in a little bit more. And that kind of is echoed in the fact that Danny McCarthy has made 11 straight cuts in a row, whereas Aaron Rye only 4 straight made cuts in a row. I would say it is a little bit more of a toss-up, but again, I think we are just rolling with Aaron Rye, but I think Danny McCarthy is right after him. And I do think it's worth calling out. The weather on Saturday is projected to be kind of brutal. That's as it sits right now. I'm doing this video on Monday. That could end up changing. If that does, that actually benefits Bazunhout a decent amount, and maybe that weather sneaks into Friday, which would then maybe adjust which golfers are going to be the most likely to make the cut, which would actually probably benefit Bazunhout a decent amount there as well. But he's still the third best option in this range. Okay, so yes, we got the tier 4 players highlighted here for you guys. Aaron Rye, Danny McCarthy, Christian Bazunhout. From there, getting into tier number 5. Tier 5, a little bit more difficult even compared to tier 4, even compared to tier 6, okay? That's because we're getting a lot of okay options, like options that I don't really love. Okay, so looking at it right now, like, it's ugly. So Matt Fitzpatrick has the highest likelihood to make the cut. He also has the one of the higher likelihoods to win as well in terms of his outright odds. Michael Kim actually has the best. They all kind of rank out essentially the same in the 9 to 5 model. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this tier on the 9 to 5 cheat sheet. This is very much a toss-up. And so again, having all the players listed here, guys, they all are about the same. I personally do not see a big edge between any of them. Okay, none of them are actually likely to win. Matt Fitzpatrick probably has the most upside. Okay, he just hasn't been hitting the golf ball all too well thus far this year. He's actually been pretty lackluster, but we do see a 5th and a 9th mixed in here. Also 2 missed cuts mixed in there. Don't exactly love that. Keith Mitchell is a Florida guy that typically plays well. He ranks out as actually one of the better stat fits. So one of the golfers that, if his game is on, does elevate the most for this type of course. He has made 5 straight cuts in a row on the PGA Tour as well. Okay course history. Again, 2 made cuts, 2 missed cuts. Don't exactly love that. From there, it does become more difficult. Like, I don't want to tell you guys Doug Kim's the next best option. He somewhat is, though, but it becomes much more risky, okay, because we do account for what Vegas is expecting. They're giving him 107 for his odds, which isn't terrible, but not likely to play well. And again, using like DraftKings pricing, he's the lowest price golfer on the slate, which again doesn't really mean much, especially for you guys, but it is a somewhat slight indication of the likelihood for a golfer to go out and play well. So this is where I think we are going to get a potential missed cuts here, okay? And so what you need to know is what your office pool is set up to do. Sometimes if there's 6 tiers, right? Sometimes you only need to count the top 4 scorers, okay? Some do top 5, some do all 6, okay? Most of the time it's top 4. If that's the case for you, I would probably suggest chasing some upside. Some upside to me would be Keith Mitchell, even Doug Kim. A player that is sneaky that I think it depends on people's golf knowledge is Michael Kim. Okay, Michael Kim has made 5 straight cuts now on the PGA Tour. He's finished 4th, 6th, 13th, and 13th over his past 4 events. He's actually the 3rd best staff in the field as well. He is a quality option. He's probably the pick here. It really, really depends on the knowledge that your group has in golf, in fantasy golf specifically. If they don't have much, play Michael Kim. If they do have a lot, they're probably going to be on Michael Kim. I think a good hedge bet would be then Keith Mitchell or Matt Fitzpatrick. Hopefully I explained that well. It is a tough selection here. Likely none of these are going to be great options. And so, yes, guys, Michael Kim, he will get the slight green tag, okay? And then from there, Keith Mitchell and then Matt Fitzpatrick. And then we'll even give Doug Kim the slight red tag here as well, okay? A lot of options there. Don't exactly love that, but we'll go with Michael Kim there. So from there, tier 6, I will say Alex Smalley is the top option here. And if he's the first player listed in tier 6 for your specific pool, I kind of hate that. Okay, he is the best option though. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys on this little sheet here And we're just going to sort it by the 9 to 5 model rank just because it's the easiest. And Nick Taylor is actually the best ranking golfer in the 9 to 5 model. So you're probably going Nick Taylor. Okay. I agree with that. From there, though, Alex Smalley is sneaky good. Taylor Moore sneaky good. Jake Knapp is sneaky good as well. But yeah, now I'm looking at, we're probably going Nick Taylor. I'll pull him up here on the 9 to 5 cheat sheet as well. And so here's the profile for Nick Taylor. So course history wise, he ranks out as 43rd in the field. So that's going to be because he has 3 starts here over the past 4 years. Made cut last year, missed cut, made cut. Okay, so not terrible. Key stat wise, he's not the best. Stat fit wise, 12th in the field though, not terrible. We'll take that. He also won recently on the PGA Tour, so we're going to scroll down here. He won at the Sony Open. Kind of I don't want to say lucky win. He had a clutch chip in late in the tournament, and then some players kind of choke away the tournament in which he was able to capitalize on that. But that's kind of Nick Taylor, okay? Followed that up with a good finish at the American Express, and then hasn't missed a cut since. Had a top 10 finish at the Farmers Insurance Open. Okay, so I do agree that he probably gives you the best chance to make the cut. So he is the clear-cut choice. Alex Smalley, though, is the next best option as well. And so, yes, Alex Smalley is going to get the yellow tag, and then Nick Taylor right there is going to get the green tag. It's kind of as simple as that. So, guys, just to reemphasize what we're going to be on here, Scottie Scheffler is going to be the top pick in tier 1. Then Russell Henley is going to be the top pick in tier 2. Daniel Berger in tier 3. Aaron Rai in tier 4. I will say that is pretty questionable. Honestly, tier 5 and tier 4 are the ugly ones. Again, if you're only getting the top 4 that count, tier 4 and tier 5 are probably the most risky. And then for tier 5, we're going Michael Kim and then Nick Taylor. The yellow golfers are golfers you can also consider. I really think Collin Morikawa is a good pick. Seb Straka should play well. Siwoo Kim, safe. Corey Connors, a little bit more upside. Denny McCarthy, safe. Bazoon out, kind of a weather play. And then that's going to do it, guys. So appreciate you all being here. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give a like and subscribe. That does help out the channel a lot. I will be doing this for the majors as well. The Masters, PGA Championship, the Open, and also the PGA Championship. Is that the only one I haven't said? Yeah, we're going to be doing it for all the majors. As always, I give out fantasy golf content each and every week as well. So if you guys are interested in that, again, subscribe to the channel. That does help out a lot. That's going to do it for this video, guys. Again, leave a like on the video. That does help out a lot. If you guys are someone that did well with the pool picks as well last year, leave a comment. That does help out the channel as well. Appreciate you guys being here. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.